Hi, everybody. So, I'm doing a soul rebirth journey today. This is for Dylan. And soul rebirth journey is 60 minutes of spiritual healing and wisdom. And Dylan's open minded and willing to share this experience openly for others. So, I'm going to read to you a little bit about Dylan's goals for the session, and then I'm going to get connected with you, Dylan. So Dylan says, there are some tender spots inside my soul that I'd like to help heal from and to see how to move forward with becoming my best self. If you could help guide the way, I'd be very grateful to learn and heal from you. This is so awesome. All right, Dylan, thank you so much for exploring this work with me. It's very nice to meet you. And I'm going to go ahead and relax now and get connected with your spiritual atmosphere. And just letting go of any energy that is not serving my purpose. Allowing higher wisdom to connect with me. I feel like I'm going up in vibration. I'm experiencing a realm of higher consciousness and healing. Connected to my spirit guides and higher self. I feel the frequency of Archangel Michael. It's very loving. It's just really, really loving. Sharing waves of love toward me and toward the work that I am doing and towards your soul, toward all of us. Even those watching on YouTube, it feels like a community of love. It's really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's a wonderful way to start this journey. It's so connected. It's really beautiful. I just feel the frequencies of what are harmonies of heaven style harmonies, and they're tranquil and they're so easy to receive. They're so welcoming and freeing of the spirit. It's so soft and easy to experience love here. We're starting to, I feel a shift in the energy, and I'm starting to feel like the focus now is me entering into your spiritual atmosphere. Let's see, what is this here? So the first thing I experience, this is just at the surface layer. So the surface layer, oftentimes I experience what is an orb of energy surrounding you, Dylan, or anybody I do the work for. And this orb of energy defines your energy balance or teaches me some things about you. The orb of energy is really odd because it's not like a solid, like it's not just like an enclosed space. It actually has portions of it that are, it kind of looks like a wind catcher in a way, but a wind catcher that's kind of egg shaped, and then it just has openings around the sides, and it just kind of goes in the wind like that. So it's kind of like that, but it looks like a rusty metal. I don't have any negative opinions about this. I'm just simply observing it. I'm walking in between the openings into the center where I see you. You're really hard to make out, even if I'm standing right here in front of you. It's almost like you put on a camouflage, and so you don't want me to see all the details of you. If I see all the details of you, I will maybe know too much, or I would have an opinion that might be negative about you. There's something odd about you wanting to be camouflaged, and you're kind of like it's kind of like just a clump of clothes on the floor. It's just kind of, I mean, it just looks like a black clump, It just looks kind of like I could ignore this or walk past it, or you would be hiding because you transform into something else and I just wouldn't know that it was you. It's just some sort of random blanket on the ground or something, but it's a black in color. You look like a black blanket that's just sort of in a pile here on the floor. But it's you. I can see through the blanket and I see you're sort of like, kind of holding yourself crouched down, like even your head is, you're like holding yourself in a ball, but you're facing the ground. So you're just kind of curled up in a ball facing the ground. You're even like duck and cover around your head too. So, should I honor your choice to be invisible or to blend in? Or is it time now for you to stand up and experience exposure? Being exposed, showing me yourself. You actually are strong, and you obviously this is a reflection of a vulnerability, and the vulnerability is a hard one. It's a really tough one to conquer, and it has to do with self-expression or being seen. And you actually are strong enough to take a deep breath and admit that it is time to stand up and allow yourself to be noticed. I There's something about you. It's like there's an instantly like a likable energy. Like I just admire you for doing this. Like you actually you didn't beat around the bush. You took a deep breath and you said okay instantly. Like that was very honorable. Like I have reverence for your soul and I admire that a great deal. I feel how hard it is for you choose to do this. Even though you are doing it, I experience that this is very hard. You look unusual. Your skin is really white. It's hard to. It's like you're oddly camouflaging. Because you have different patches of color, but that's all different versions of white, and very scrawny but tall. It's tall, skinny, but it does not look healthy. This is in regards to this specific vulnerability here. This vulnerability creates an unhealthy experience for you. There's just a release of a little emotional hurt going on. Hey, it's a deep wound about love. Then and I feel like saying, has anybody ever loved you? Has anybody ever saw how beautiful you are? You get taller and taller and taller. You're really tall. You're like 8 or 9 feet tall, standing here. White skin, different variations of white skin. You just keep wanting to grow taller and taller and taller. Almost like a tree now. But I can't see your face and I can't look into your eyes. I won't be able to talk to you deeply if I'm unable to see your face. Like there's something of value to us being on at the same level as each other. So should I grow really tall, or should I just encourage you to just speak to me at your normal height so we can talk face to face? It's like talking soul to soul. If your soul wants to stretch out really tall, it's kind of like it's saying, I want to ignore you while acknowledging that you're here, but I don't want to participate in the conversation directly. But if we could have it indirectly, but it's sort of like for me, it's like, well, you either talk to me because give yourself some credit here, or I have to wait until you're ready to face me. And we can just see each other eye to eye. Because I'm not going to alter my pathway so I can be at your level. Because me being at your level is actually not allowing me to be in balance. And I'd have to stretch a long ways in order to be in balance with you, and that would not be healthy for me. Therefore, I will have to move on with my life. I encourage you to give yourself some credit, find some inner strength, stand before me, and speak to me directly as you are. Just releasing some energy reactions. I'm patient. I notice that you are working on this, and you're going to attempt to face me once more. It's very, very incredibly difficult, and you're becoming shorter. Not like 100-foot tall tree, but now you're becoming shorter, like a normal sized human being kind of thing. I tell you, I admire you for making the choice but staying firm with it. You make the choice and you stay firm with it. You don't make the choice, stay firm with it for only a second and say, I gotta change it because I gotta find another way to feel comfortable with this exposure moment and the facing you directly moment. I'm gonna just grow really tall, and then maybe that will work. Because at least I'm not holding myself facing the ground. I'm actually standing on my own 2 feet. So that's better, right? No, you gotta look at me in the face. You're shorter. You're really awkward. You're really struggling with this. It's okay. There's something odd, some sort of odd metallic band that is around, like right where your heart portal is, and then there's a metallic band that goes around you, and there's buttons on it, and you're actually pushing a button and a button and a button, and it's like a belt that's wanting to come off. And I start to notice you're covered in these belts, specifically around the heart and then emotional gut region are very noticeable, but I feel like there's more than we can see visibly. But there's one around the lower hips. I mean, there's one around the neck now. I mean, I feel like there's one connected to every energy portal. Again, it comes to the experience of exposure. It's interesting because there's no reason to be afraid to be yourself, right? And I know what it is like to have to just face the world and feel judged and feel not good enough, feel like a failure. And I get very sensitive about that. And but I take a deep breath and I basically say fuck it. That's my method for becoming stronger. It works for me, but I will say there's got to be another way. But that's what I'm working with now. But I will stand there and I will just stand there and I will do this. I will own this. And I know what is the right behavior or the right energy balance or way of expressing, even if I feel like really like jump somersaults and jumping jacks on the inside. I will still own it and carry on or move forward on what I would define as the appearance of a balanced interaction. Even if I'm really vulnerable on the inside, I will still choose to be an expression of what I choose to, how I choose to have my own face forward. But I too have my own vulnerability, so I can relate to this. And you're doing a good job of holding it together, staying strong with it. But I'm still trying to make sense of the behavior. But it feels like, exposure, feeling exposed or seen, and it creates vulnerability. But what is underneath that? The word exposure, being seen. What are we exposing? I mean, what is it about you that you don't want people to know about, kind of thing? or that you're ashamed of or you're trying to hide from. This is a deep soul hurt. I will say this is a deep soul hurt, and we're gonna just continue to explore it, okay? It's actually quite fascinating, and I will say that despite the vulnerabilities here, you are a really strong soul. Strong souls still shine through beneath the surface of their vulnerabilities and weaknesses, and you're a really strong soul. So it's okay, as long as you're trying and making the effort. Oh my gosh, it goes like so far. It is heard and it is so revered, and even the tiniest little motivation to conquer that vulnerability. I'm just standing here. I'm very proud of you. You're letting go all the belts. You're opening them all up and then letting them drop. You're exhausted underneath the surface, but I feel that letting these go, and we're talking. They're now showing me very blatantly the throat chakra one and then the third eye one, are now extremely visible. This one, what is it, on the lower spine? The lower spine is kind of a big deal location, and I see a lot of energy jams go into that place right there. So there's some vulnerabilities there too. I mean, it's just every one of your chakra portals has a vulnerability, interconnected with this exposure energy experience. I'm just patient with you. I congratulate you for making it this far, because I can actually feel how extremely vulnerable this is for your soul to do this. Reminds me of those times where I'm freaking out on the inside, although I have my best face forward and I look so presentable and confident, but in the inside I'm just like, I'm having a panic attack. Like, I have to overcome myself too, like, I know what this is like. I'm proud of you. Your health, your vitality, like your body color is starting to look healthier. It's not looking patchy. You're still taller than the average bear, like 6'5" or something. So you're like taller than an average human being. That's still noticeable. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe you're actually a taller person in real life. But this is how your energy body defines your natural height at this height. And it seems to like being taller, because when I talk about your height, it would like to be 7 foot tall or 8 foot tall or even 9 foot tall, as what would be, it feels like is that's natural height. Like, it feels like your natural height, or what you would define as your norm, is much taller than a human being, like your average human being. And so as you talk about it, you actually grow taller, and I'm concerned that you're gonna become a tree again. Don't grow like way too tall. Just hang in there, but I'm encouraging you to choose to feel human. I'm bringing your soul into your body. You need to feel like you're in your body. Your soul, your energy, consciousness. You have hands. Your human hands. You have a human face, human neck, human torso, human hips and legs and feet, human eyes that see, human brain. You are human, is what I'm telling your soul, and you need to acclimate to the being human. You need to acclimate to the body and not resist the body. Your soul seems to really long to, you accept that you're human, but it feels like your soul kind of like wants to be half out of the body and half in it. It feels kind of like not really enjoying the human body experience. It really insists that it longs to be of a different form that is much taller. It's struggling in the heart portal right now. Just Just letting this energy flow in and out. Front and back of your heart portal. Letting the energy flow. Archangel Michael is encouraging you to, we're doing work together and we're bringing your soul essence more into the body so you're not kind of half out and half in. And we need your energy body to go all the way down into your feet. Like you need to feel in the body. I'm not trying to escape the body, but you have to feel in the body. And that's the only way that you can truly maneuver and balance in this world. Otherwise, you're always going to feel like resisting, you know? And you can't feel like resisting. You got to feel like owning it, you know? It makes things easier when you just choose to breathe it in and say, I can do this. No matter how weird it feels inside, that's you conquering the human emotions and the human design, which is complex and challenging. So you're gonna own it, okay? And we're bringing the soul more into the body, all the way into the feet. Bring it all the way into the feet. It's still like not wanting to go all the way in. It's sort of like, oh, I'll stretch my energy legs and then I can still be half out of the body. See, I'm still in my body, but I'm half out. No, we need you all the way in. No, you don't get to play these little tricks. It's tricky to get you. I'm almost there. You're almost there. I almost got you all the way in. I can feel it's really good for your heart and heart breathability. I can experience that it's almost there. Like it's really actually exciting. I feel it in the heart, a lot in the heart. You're almost there. A little delirious, but it's feeling a lot better. Still feels a little bit of work to do here with this, but feeling a lot better. Continuing to pull you down into the hips more, like I'm helping you to feel acclimated to your body. I need you to be in your body. You made so much progress already, like it's monumental how much progress you've made in this amount of time. Like it shows. I know it seems like baby steps, but I'm telling you, the vulnerability is so loud that these baby steps are incredible conquering experiences, and they're amazing, and they're going to make you feel amazing. Archangel Michael loves you. Like, he's really proud of you. That's really cool because when I do journeys, I don't particularly connect to any specific people. But for some reason, Archangel Michael is here in this journey, and it's really lovely to experience his vibration as a part of the gift of his love for you, and you receiving that love and healing is really cool as well. It's like I have a sidekick with me. I'm not used to that. He's really, gosh, he just keeps sending the waves of love out to you and into your heart. And he just is so proud of you. You're starting to feel appreciation of that, and the appreciation of it is bringing you more into your body and helping you to settle into your body more. I'm trying to say, it's sort of like I'm instantly seeing what was a massive 2x4 whacked you in the gut, and that whacked a part of your soul out of your body, and you never really got your soul back into your body. So you're kind of half in and half out. I don't know what this whack was or when this whack took place, but it hurt. Like it was, you ever have like the wind knocked out of you? It's like, you notice it. It's like you're kind of in like a shock. It was startling. Whatever this was, it hit you in the gut. Does that mean it hurt you deep in your emotions? Was it actual physical hit? Whatever it was, it would have been memorable enough and overwhelming enough in a split second that you actually kind of got knocked out of your body a bit. And ever since then, you're kind of, you've never been able to acclimate to feeling fully into your body, and so you're dealing with other longings or emotional, like you're dealing with other stuff, because of this harmonic balance, is actually attracting certain versions of learning to your soul. So in a way, it was a good thing. So your soul's learning, but it's odd because your soul, it really hungers or longs to be, in another form. And at first I thought, well, maybe obviously souls have been all over the place. So maybe you've really spent a lot of time in a certain race of beings on another planet, and now you're kind of gravitating to Earth and exploring things here, and you're just not acclimating to it right yet. Well, I don't feel that's actually the answer to this question, because I don't feel like your soul hasn't had lifetimes here. But it feels like something in the human journey, hit you hard enough in the emotional gut region or in the physical gut, that it whacked a bit of your soul out, and in that harmonic balance, your soul has been longing, to return to another race or another planet. But it's actually, your soul actually does love planet Earth, and your soul actually wants to be a part of this world. So bringing you fully into your body is going to help you acclimate to what your soul came here to do, your higher purpose, because you actually want to participate here. This isn't like, I'm new to this body, I'm new to this place. This is like, I got disoriented along the way here, lost myself a little bit, and now I'm getting acclimated to my body, and now it's like, oh yeah, that's why I came here. I'm ready now. Like, you're actually a really strong soul. And you seem like you have a really, earthy, like genuine nature, and you would, even if you felt really vulnerable, you know what the right thing to do is, and you would actually stand up and do that right thing even if it was really hard. But I feel like there's some other deeper things, not per se like the life challenges of the human world, society challenges of the human world, but like in your own world, deeper things that maybe we can't put our finger on or quite understand it. And so how do we really face that? How do we really come into balance of healing that? If we can't really put our finger on it, we notice it, we know it's there, but what is it and why is it? So it feels like there's some other stuff, which now we're starting to learn more about why this is, just looking at you here. So this is going to give you a lot to process. You're adjusting to your body, you're looking at your hands, kind of like this is like a new thing. You're kind of in a starry, like outer space. Um, I feel like a moment happened that was overwhelming energetically, so I'm just kind of in outer space right now, just like the stars are going around my head, but I don't feel hurt. I feel kind of like I'm having an out of body moment for some reason, even though I'm in my body. Being fully in my body is manifesting the experience of like a starry, I'm out of my body moment, and just like surreal, like a surreal thing. And so it's kind of like a cloudy, like a trippy in a way. It's kind of like, but floating really like slowly in a starry, sparkly space. But there's lots of darkness because it's like outer space. Again, I see this astral body is connected to a rubber band that slingshots you back into your body. Man, your soul instantly showed me different dimensions, connecting with a butterfly for what felt like 100,000 years, even if it was only 20 seconds. All the while, it was in a matrix, like a Rubik's cube of dimensions, solving like extraordinary, sacred geometry puzzles or something. All the while, it was in this other race of beings that are really tall on another planet. All the while, now we're coming back into our body and trying to figure out, who am I? That all happened like that when you slingshotted back into your body. I put you in your body, and then you go out of your body, have like a surreal moment, and now you slingshot back in, and we saw all this stuff. What does that say about you? That says that you're a very interesting, diverse soul. like you're still owning it, but you're still working on it, feeling the soul totally in the body. You're still, oh man, there's a hurt, there's something sad here. You have a really quiet air to you, really quiet, soft spoken style in your spiritual atmosphere. You speak to me, but you don't. Are soft spoken when you speak to me. You don't feel like talking too loud. You don't have to be heard. But you tell me there's something I want to show you, Abby, and you say it just like your normal voice volume is soft spoken. I say, okay, can show me. It's a hurt. Lower gut region. I could say upper spine, and then the back of the top of your head are all lighting up as you're wanting to take me to a space where the hurt is. Oh gosh. How do I describe it in here? It's a dark, it's really dark blue, purple, extremely dark purple perhaps. Like, it's not black, but it's an extremely dark, I would say purple more than blue. Indigo, really dark indigo. And it's like a berry. It's like being inside a berry, but just blow the berry up to be really massive. And it's gushy and gooey in here, and it's cored out. You could see it as a blueberry. And that's what the space is like. It's like a chunk of it is not there, and it's gushy and gooey on my fingers, and it reminds me of a blueberry. This really dark color. You cry as we're in here. You cry over and over and over again. Like the tears, just like tears, drops and drops and drops of tears, and you just cry and cry and cry and cry. You just are still crying. There's a tiny little door down here. It's really ornate. It's like the size of I don't know, let's just say 3 foot tall. It's a rounded door. It's ornate. It's really cute. And maybe dwarves go use this door or something. I'm not sure, but oh my gosh, you're like in severe agony. Because I tell you, I'll go in there. There's a golden handle to the door. It's golden ornate. I don't know why I just keep thinking of like dwarves, like mythical little men, you know, and they're awesome with woodworking or metal, right? Like smithing. That's like that's what the mythical style is, and it's just this really ornate door, and it has golden handle and like gold on the actual wooden door. You're screaming. You're really overwhelmed. Like I talk about, just I will go in the door, and it's just like you're really overwhelmed. You're screaming right now. You're trying to grow really big, really tall. Your legs, it's like they're starting to melt. They look really weird, like black and bumpy and like melting skin. You're screaming in agony. Again, you're really tall, and you're probably stretched yourself to be 9 feet tall, and you're just screaming. I have no choice. I have to open the door. I'm not. So I open the door, and a awful black goo comes out. And now that the door is open, it starts to put a crack in the wall, and the wall of what is like a cute little yellow room, but it's a cute little room. This awful like jelly. It's a black. Reminds me of black like jelly, with little seeds in it, like blackberries. Starts to gush out. Lots of black goo with seeds in it. is just continuing to gush out. There's some breathability challenges here, and it keeps like really bothering me, just in that area below the belly button. So we just allow this energy goo to come out. So I'm just helping to release this. It's not a lot of explanation, so we just accept it as it is. You're starting to go into sort of like in a shock state. You're pure white. You're so afraid of something. You're on a stretcher bed and you're stretched out. You're shaking and you're pure white. You feel like you could puke. You're in shock right now. You get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until you become bone. You feel like a terrible injustice was done to you and you had no choice but then to become bone. Become a skeleton man. And then even after you died, you still feel like you are a skeleton man. Your soul never was able to process the event, and it's died without being able to process it. When you die without being able to process the event, it means that your soul is going to be working on trying to understand it over lifetimes. Even if you don't remember where it comes from, it will be explored in different ways. But we're simply looking at whatever this is, and your soul died and in trauma, and it just never was able to reconcile it. Your bone. I mean, the bone's experience is like they're gonna break or turn to dust and crumble. The dust blows away, and you'll never be able to get that lifetime back, so you could fix what had happened. Your soul tells me this. Once I turn to dust, I'll never be able to get back to be able to reconcile it exactly as it was. And I'll never be able to heal from this. Your soul feels this way from coming from this lifetime, but coming from a higher consciousness. But it's not your higher self, it's your soul. It's a part of your higher self. And there's so many infinite numbers of parts of your higher self, it's unbelievable. Oh gosh. And again, I feel like I'm gonna puke, but it's not coming from my stomach. It's coming from lower gut, and I want to puke from my lower gut. I just wanting to puke out whatever the blackberry juice is with the seeds. That happens. I tell this part of your soul that, look at, we are reconciling this. And you have the power to go into any timeline you want to go into. You have the power to bring harmony to an event. You have the power to be in reverence of your soul for having endured that event. You have the power to love yourself for your choices and experiences. You have the power to do that. And this is not a lost cause, and this is not forgotten about, and this is not gone forever. As you can see, you're still enduring it because you can't let go. You're holding on to it, but why? You need to let go of this and just start living your life with joy and harmony. Oh, you are struggling to let go of this one. You show me like a body being ripped apart, lightning bolts and electricity zapping all the way through your bones. You're like shaking and like being electrocuted. But I also see the experience of skin being ripped, the experience of ripping skin. Body is being ripped. It's absolutely horrible what it does to the mind, and the brain feels like it's being ripped. It feels like the head is being split open. It feels like insane numbers of needles being stuck into the body everywhere, like cactus is going in, like it just like, let's just say 100 trillion little needles all over the body instantly just shoved in, screaming, ripping. Nobody comes for you, nobody helps you. This one, you're on your own. Your eyeballs feel like they're about to pop out of your head. Your brain is hemorrhaging with blood. You're bleeding out the nose and the eyes. You want to puke out blood. You're still kind of shaking, but you feel a lot more lifeless now. It felt like your eyeballs were going to pop out of your head. I feel like it's calming down, and I feel like there's no more of this. It feels like totally light now. It's like easy. It's just zero. I feel zero tyranny. I feel zero chaos. Nothing. I feel just like a peaceful harmony. Like, but it's kind of like the dust is settling after, you could imagine, like, you could put an entire event of a hurricane into, like, how about few minutes of screaming, all that energy, and then the energy is gone, the hurricane is gone, and then what's left? There's just like an odd, like, there's just dust left, and the dust is just lightly, it just falls to the ground as in time, as it's meant to. It's just like that. It's like an odd silence, and the dust is just settling very slowly. I tell you, it's all over now. It's all over now. Isn't that cool? It's done. You're crying. You point at another scene. You can't bear this one either. This one has to do with being in a very dry place and dying in a dry place, but the birds start to eat you before you're dead, and you don't have the energy to make them go away. You're just dying, and the birds are already starting to eat you while you're still alive. And you're so exhausted you can't make the birds go away, and they will eat whatever they feel like eating. They're really pecking at your gut. I mean, it's like they're pecking into your gut, into your intestines, into your kidneys, into these parts. It just feels like their beaks go in and then take a bite, and then they eat it, and they just keep going in and pecking in new places. It's pecking on your head. Archangel Michael is here watching this with me. He puts, I don't know, some sort of like very tiny drop of it's like white and red liquid. It just drops into what is a totally exposed intestinal region, and just blackbirds. It's actually blackbirds on you, ravens. He just puts a single drop in here. It's weird because it's supposed to release your soul from the body, but when your soul tries to get up, it goes back in, and it says that this is what I deserve, to be eaten alive. It's very much, it's attached to the torture or the torment. It's attached to it. It can't let go. Unfortunately, if you can't let go on the soul level of what has happened, on severe what had happened, it's going to continue to happen, because you're going to want to recreate the pain in new ways in order to understand it. And it's never going to be understood any more than this. So imprinted in your soul is saying, I need to feel eaten alive. I need to experience tyranny or chaos that is unimaginable in order to understand it. The birds start to stop eating at you. They start to get a terrible taste in their mouth. They don't want to be anywhere near you. They start to feel awful. The one just tries to stay. It tries to stay, but it just... They're just squawking all around you. They're flapping their wings and squawking like they're screaming, but they don't die. It's like they have belly aches, really bad belly aches. They can't fly. They're just screaming and squawking all around you. This one is still trying to eat part of your body. It's the genitalia area. Is trying to peck at this area. It still hasn't, it still feels the vulnerability, but it cannot, it's sort of somehow obsessed, or it just will defy it in order to get what it is most hungry for. I go to this bird, and your body is naked, and it's like literally like a surgery. We just open up and we see all the guts and intestines, and you just sort of like... And so I go to this bird here, and I talk to it about why is it hungry for this area. This bird gets really mad at me, and it looks at me. It just wants to peck my face off. It hates my guts. It hates the fact that I picked it up. It hates the fact that I asked it that question. It hates me for this. It wants to turn into something very terrible so that it can eat my head off. It's going to kill me. It's going to eat me alive. It's going to make me suffer. I show it what happened to all the other birds. I say any bird that has been eating off of this corpse is going to now endure the same fate. What do you make of this? Because all the birds are dying except this one. This bird is so angry, he's starting to turn into what is like a man. He screams at me, he tells me he is different. Can't you see? Can't you see that I am different than everybody else? I'm not going to die like them. I'm different from them. Can't you see? How come you can't see? How come you can't see that I'm different? How dare you? He's telling me that I've said a very blasphemous thing, a very disrespectful thing, to not see him for who he truly is. But I tell him, you've been wanting to be this raven bird, just eating at the body obsessively at this location here. So I'm just trying to make sense. He is so mad. He's getting really huge. He's getting like enormously angry. He becomes really large, a man that also echoes back as like a black bird or raven. He rips his face off. He's so mad. He's just so mad he could rip his face off. He wants to rip his skin off. He's so mad he could rip the hair out of his head. He's just so angry. He can't be not angry. I ask Archangel Michael if there is a droplet for this guy. He's starting to turn into a dragon that blows fire. His wings have black bird feathers, but he is much like the shape of a dragon. He is starting to burn the corpse. The corpse isn't moving. I mean, the birds are all dead. And so he burns everything. He burns the whole world. It's a dried up desert world, and he's trying to burn it all here. There's not much to catch fire, sand doesn't really catch fire, but he is trying to burn it all. He just keeps releasing his anger out in fire. He's screaming, he's ripping himself apart. He is in agony. He's starting to realize that he really did consume that droplet. He is stronger than the others, so he could override it for longer than they could. But he's starting to get weaker and weaker, and he's starting to just turn into a blackbird that is now dead. His last thought is, who will remember me after this life? I just see a pile of dead birds around you, and I see that you're coming to life. Your gut is still exposed, but it feels like things are starting to heal or reform. There's something about your sexual body and the exposure. I don't know why, but that one keeps lighting up as a place that needs rebalancing. And you stand up, you're out of it. Your kind of head is exhausted and out of it and confused. But you have your body, you have your wits about you. You're standing here naked, exposed. I'm just analyzing the scene here. There's a blackbird in your sexual body. And this has endured suffering as well. And we're looking at the lower back region. Just sort of an oval. I'm starting to walk into the space. It just looks like a round room. It's got a reddish color glow to it. There's just a massive black bird here, and I'm just standing here. I touch the bird's feathers, and I say that you are beautiful just the way you are. I start to see the bird has odd, like insects or like ants or something crawling all over it, like it's got a disease. And now the ants are going to eat it alive. The ants are starting to crawl around its eyeball. The bird has no power over the experience. It has to just simply endure it. I tell the bird, you've endured enough, don't you think? This bird is also you, no different than the man in the dry desert being eaten alive by birds, no different than the man that is being what is like electrocuted. This bird now with the ants crawling all over it while it's still alive is also a reflection of you in this space. The bird starts to lose its feathers. It looks sickly and skinny and pale. It looks like it wants to die. It's in agony. It begs for death. It reaches its wing out just like it would reach a hand out for something before it just collapses. But your soul tells me I can't leave this vicious cycle of torturesque lifetimes. I can't leave it. I will be reborn again to endure torture yet again. I can't get out of this cycle. It's begging me to help it get out of this cycle. I ask your soul, well, what have you learned? What have I learned? What have you learned? Soul starts to cry. Soul releases so much emotion. He says, I've learned about fighting for my life over and over and over and over again. I say, do you feel like fighting for your life has been a beneficial experience of learning? He says the pain is too much to bear. I can't bear the pain. I don't want to fight for my life anymore, please. I said, that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. I don't want to fight for my life anymore, please. That's it. We start to see all these scenes just vanish, and they just, like, they're done. It's all done now. Your soul feels really strange. It's breathing. It's going through emotional restructure in the gut region. In this space beneath the belly button, also going through a restructure. Going through restructure in the lower spine, going through restructure, emotional gut, heart, throat, third eye. It's going through emotional restructure on all your chakras. All of them. Your soul's entering into the body in a way that it feels like this is no problem. It feels like it's in balance, like it doesn't, everything we've been through, all that craziness, it just disappeared, like it never was there to begin with. Zero energy consciousness related to all that pain and suffering. That's because it's in harmony now. It's in balance. It's healed now. It's already been let go of. You ask me, well, what can I work on now? As you ask me that, I see what is a dead bird coming out of your lower spine. It's being hauled away actually by a massive ant. It's just like the ant is taking the bird away. There's just an odd ribbon connected to the bird, connected to the lower spine. And there's more ants. They're not massive. I guess they're just really strong. They're kind of like normal-sized ants. This one ant is tugging on the white ribbon as though there's more in the lower spinal area, that pocket of stuff that needs to be removed. Just pulling it out. I'm being taken to another scene. It's kind of foggy or cloudy in here, and there's a bed. Setting glasses down on a nightstand, rubbing the eyes. Laying down, it's not a large bed. It's like a twin size or full size bed, I guess. It's kind of an olden time space. There is a lamp here. We turn the lamp off. We roll onto our side, close our eyes to fall asleep. You're missing somebody you love very much who is not there with you. It's bigger than a twin-size bed. It's not a very large bed. You imagine touching her face as your eyes are closed and her on this pillow next to you, and she's not there. You miss her considerably. You miss her so much. Your heart misses her. Every part of your energy portals miss her. Your sexual body misses her. Everything that is your soul essence as a human being misses her. Like you can't live without her. Your harmony is shattered without her. You're in agony, in a version of agony without her. You cry. it's becoming so, you feeling this sadness so much, you just start to cry because you miss her so much and you can't bring her back. You just cry and cry and cry. You're a really strong person though, because you know that you're in grief, you know what she means to you, you know all this, you feel the pain really loudly, but you never say, Heaven, why did this happen to me? You choose to be in acceptance of the loss, but it's hard to process it. You feel like you might cry for the rest of your life, but you understand, like, your soul is advanced enough that it's learning how to be at peace or acceptance of the loss. But this loss is like, this is a hard one. This is a really, really hard one, and it is just begging, every part of you just begs for her touch, or her body, or her face, or her eyes to look into yours. Like, every part of you just feels broken by this loss, but you are choosing, like, as a strong person, to accept the loss, but it's, you feel the pain and sorrow of it everywhere, all over. Every part of your being feels it. You just simply say, I miss you. You imagine her face there, you touch her face and kiss her lips. You close your eyes and you choose to fall asleep now as a single man in a bed, and there is no her there. You gotta start living your life for yourself. It is just you now. And she won't ever be there, so there's no point of longing for her to be there. She won't be there ever again. It's the next day, you sit up, you put your shoes on. There's vulnerability in the heart and emotional gut region. It's more like slippers than shoes, and it's like a pajama outfit. But it's a bright sunny day and you make yourself breakfast with orange juice. There's modern touches to the scene, intermixed with an olden time feel. Like an old one-room cabin or something. Intermixed with a fridge and a sink and a dishwasher and a table and that sort of thing. It's an old style fridge from like the 70s or something. The scene now is starting to fade, and the spirit realm said another lesson that you have conquered. I'm just examining your spiritual atmosphere. There's other parts of you that wanna talk to me, but I'm gonna allow them to feel the harmonization and know that it's time for your body to do the processing experience. So I'm taking a moment here to relax, and I'm gonna jump back in just a minute. Just to experience what is the balance of everything. I experience your heart is beating naturally. I feel that you are stronger in your legs and feet. You're stronger on your own 2 feet. I feel that your soul is in your body and it's in the shoulders. I experience the soul is in the shoulders and the arms, and then it's around the head. Like, it feels like it's where it should be. I feel like the soul is disconnecting still, I would say, but it's so improved from that chaos learning. And it's ready to have a sunny day that feels like renewal and happiness in the heart and the soul. And I'm already experiencing that breath of life happening. Everything feels a lot better. Still a little out of it. I'm going to disconnect from your spiritual atmosphere. I'm just pushing your spiritual atmosphere away and I'm moving back. Pulling myself back into myself. I feel like myself again. All right. Dylan, this was a really unique experience, and I want to thank you very much for exploring this session with me. My soul has learned a lot, and it's not just a gift I share with you, it's a gift I receive from you too. So thank you for this, and thank you for your open-mindedness to share with others. That's just awesome of you. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in a psychic session with me, we can share it on YouTube. You don't have to. I can do a private video recording for you, or we could have a live session. If you're interested, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.